Okay, so first things first. So first item on the list. Everybody needs to label on their site plans which way north is. Okay? And I'm simply going to do it. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to write an N right here on the edge. So north. And I'm going to write south at the other end, or just S. North, south, east, and west. So I put an N and an S and an E and a W. Please make sure you don't do it wrong. Okay? So I want all of you, everybody in the entire class needs to label north, south, east, west on their model as I just did on this one. Just in case the camera can't see it, I'm going to bring it up closer so that the camera can see it. Can the camera see the S and the W?
Okay, now I can see.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right, good. So it becomes important that you guys know which way north, south, east, west is on your site. Okay? Which way is north where we're sitting? That way. Very good. Okay, so that's one of the first things that needs to go on that list. All right? Another common error that I'm seeing. All right? The corridors are kind of required to be in a vertical frame. So like this one right here, it's sideways. So the corridors need to be turned 90 degrees so that the long axes, right, of the long axes of the slice through it is facing up. Okay? They can't be set on their side. So you've got to turn yours, so disconnect them right now and put them vertical. So that's going to be an error that, or not an error, but that's going to be something that people maybe didn't understand clearly from the program. Okay? All right. Now, I think we should start with, I don't know, who should we start with? Who's that? That's yours. Okay. So we're looking at this very first one. And what I'm going to do is so that the camera can see it, I'm going to pull it back this way a little bit. Right? And we need to know a couple of things. Right? Which of these masses is the living room and which one is the library? The living room's at the front, library's at the back. Right? Okay, good. So from a sort of zoning perspective, like what should be where in relationship to something else based on privacy issues and noise, right? Does this make sense? Which is the quietest room of the house?
Library.
And does he have the library really far removed? He does. So that's good. The library is separated from the noisiest room of the house, which is the living, dining room, kitchen. Right? So now let's think of it from, so that's from an activity and noise analysis. Okay? Now let's look at it from a privacy standpoint. Which is the least private room in the house? Least private.
Living room.
Living room, dining room. Okay, so that's good. Right? Which is the second most private room in the house?
Bathroom.
I would say the library, probably. I think the most private rooms in the house are the bedrooms. Okay? And part of what this young man has done is he has put in all of the bedrooms, right, along a corridor on their own corridor. So pretty much, even if there's a lot of noise here, right, it would have to travel up the corridor and down this corridor to get to those bedrooms. So that's very good. So one thing is a privacy issue, and the other one is kind of the noise and activity issue. Those are two separate things. Okay. So from that perspective, this project right here is pretty much doing most all of that. One of the things about this project is that it is stepping down the hill, and so he is kind of setting some stuff up on higher elevations and some stuff down on lower elevations. Okay, So that's working, all right? Let's think about views now. So this is site D as in dog, right? So if we all remember, there were really nice views out here, except if you don't like the barn. You like the barn or you don't like the barn? You like the barn? I like the barn, right? That's my Cuban redneck side coming out. And of course, in Cuba, there would be tobacco drying in the barn. Okay, anyway, so back to this thing. So, okay, so you've got great views from about there all the way to about here, right out this way. And then starting about here to here is bad. So let's look at that on your site. So from about here, right, this is about where the tract houses start, all the way over to there is bad views. And from about here all the way around to there is good views. So right now, your living room, depending on where you put the windows, can either be looking at bad stuff or it could be looking at good stuff. But it does have the opportunity to look at nice things. Okay? The bedrooms, one of the things you're going to find about the bedrooms is that you have a limitation on where you can put windows in these suckers. Okay? And so the bedrooms, if you put a corner window in here, right, you can get views out to what's happening out in front, but it's very restricted by the little bathrooms. Incidentally, okay, this is another thing that needs to go on the checklist. The small part of the bathroom is the part that goes forward. All of your bathrooms are backwards. Okay? So you see how there's a thicker part and a narrower part? In order to not create this like little narrow view out, we're trying to keep it the shorter one to the front. Okay? So that needs to go on your checklist also. So see, this is thicker and this is narrower. So that's a correction that you've got to make. But you all got to analyze all of these things. Okay? All right? As far as a place on this site for an object that would have kind of not so good a view, it's good to have the library back there, right? Because the library doesn't require views. It's an inwardly focused room. There is some issues with this design. One, because of where he set this, it's crowding that. Notice that this is sticking out this way. And so it's starting to crowd out. These are having to be really squished together because this is on this side. So one possible way to deal with that is to move this to a different side, maybe over in here somewhere. Okay? So that's one option. Of course, we end up with a coplanar face, which we have to figure out a way to fix. Okay? And I think the easiest way to fix that is going to be to lower this down. So down sort of like that, and then we can reconnect it up. This has to go down also. All right. So by doing that, see how now these things can spread out a little bit, and there's more room for them. Okay. So that's a potential fix for you. Okay. So you need to rotate these bathrooms. Just flip the bathroom over so that the thick part is over in here. Okay. All right. Now here's another problem that you guys are going to kind of encounter. The bedroom engagement to the corridor. It's much easier to go up than it is to go down. So if we go down, I'm going to sort of turn this so that it's looking at the screen. Now, how many minutes am I at?
9 minutes.
All right, we should probably stop it and start a new one.